Good evening, everyone. So, this is the presentation of Group 4 about the economic globalization. So, what is economic? Economics is social science that focuses on the production, distribution, and consumption of goods and services. The study of economics is primarily concerned with analyzing the choices that individuals, businesses, governments, and nations make to allocate limited resources. Economics has ramifications on a wide range of other fields, including politics, psychology, business, and law. And what is globalization? Globalization is a term used to describe how trade and technology have made the world into a more connected and interdependent place. Globalization also captures in its scope the economic and social changes that have come about as a result. Economic globalization. Economic globalization refers to the widespread international movements of goods, capital, services, technology, and information. It is the increasing economic integration and interdependence of national, regional, and local economies across the world through an intensification of cross-border movement of goods, services, technologies, and capital. Economic globalization primarily comprises the globalization of production, finance, markets, technology, organizational institutions, corporations, and people. So, sa madaling salita, ang economic globalization ay ang pag-uugnay ng iba't ibang bansa sa buong mundo sa pamamagitan ng kalakalan, pamumuhunan, at paglipat ng mga tao. So, here are the examples of economic globalization. One of the examples of economic globalization is that it has free trade agreements such as the North American Free Trade Agreement and the Trans-Pacific Partnership. Multinational corporations, which operate in two or more countries, play a large role in economic globalization. The second one is the rise of multinational corporations. Multinational corporations include Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Amazon, and Google. Globalization of economies has often allowed multinational corporations to move to offshore tax havens and low tax nations to minimize their tax responsibilities to society. The last but not the least, movement of manufacturing overseas. The past few decades have been massive closing down of manufacturing industries in developed nations. Those industries have been moved offshore, such as to Mexico, Vietnam, and China, where labor regulations are sometimes less stringent and wages are lower. So here are the 5 types of economic globalization. First, the international trade. Countries sell and buy goods and services from each other. Halimbawa, ang pag-angkat ng mga damit mula sa China o pag-export ng mga prutas sa ibang bansa. The second one is the foreign direct investment or the FDI. Companies from one country invest in building factories or businesses in other countries. So, ang pagtatayo ng mga pabrika o negosyo sa ibang bansa ng mga kumpanya mula sa ibang bansa, halimbawa, ang pagtatayo ng isang planta ng Toyota sa Pilipinas. The third one is the capital market flows. Investors from different countries buy things like stocks and bonds from each other. Ang pagbili ng mga bagay tulad ng stock at bono sa ibang bansa ng mga mamumuhunan mula sa iba't ibang bansa, halimbawa, ang pagbili ng stock ng isang kumpanya sa Estados Unidos ng isang mamumuhunan sa Pilipinas. And the fourth one is the migration. The movement of people across borders for work or study purposes. Ang paglipat ng mga tao sa ibang bansa para sa trabaho o pag-aaral. Halimbawa, ang paglipat ng mga manggagawa mula sa Pilipinas patungong ibang bansa. And the last is the diffusion of technology. The spread of ideas, knowledge, and innovations around the world, often through the use of technology. Ang pagkalat ng mga ideya, kaalaman, at mga imbensyon sa buong mundo. kadalasan sa pamamagitan ng paggamit ng teknolohiya. Halimbawa, ang paggamit ng internet para sa komunikasyon at pagbabahagi ng impormasyon. Scopes of economic globalization. Economic globalization involves trade in goods and services, capital flows, and trade in assets, like currency and stocks. The transfer of technology and ideas, and international flows of labor or migration. It includes the integration of economic, social, cultural, and political systems across the national borders, as trends in trade, finance, international institutions, hegemony, inequality, social movements and struggles, cultural changes, and ecological dynamics. Economic globalization involves a wide variety of processes, opportunities, and problems related to the spread of economic activities among countries around the world. There have been many periods in which it occurred, most recently including the later 19th century to World War I, the quarter century after World War II, and the late 1960s or early 1970s to the present. So, the scope highlights the economic globalization has occurred in several periods throughout history, with the most recent periods being the late 19th century to the World War I, the quarter century after World War II, and the late 1960s and early 1970s to the present. To the present. So, what are the current issues in economic globalization? First, white proponents of economic globalization thought its power to create jobs in impoverished nations. Many argued that it has allowed for social injustices such as poor working conditions, wages that are scandalously low, and even the exploitation of children in the form of forced labor. May ilang nagsasabi na lumilika ito ng trabaho sa mga mahihirap na bansa. Ang iba naman ay nagsasabi na nag-aambag ito sa mga kawalang katarungan sa lipunan, tulad ng mahirap na kondisyon sa paggawa, mababang sahod, at maging ang pagsasamantala sa paggawa ng mga bata. Halimbawa, sa ilang mga bansa, ang mga manggagawa sa pabrika na gumagawa ng damit o sapatos para sa bansang mayayaman ay nakakaranas ng mahabang oras ng trabaho, mababang sahod, at hindi ligtas na kondisyon sa paggawa. Number 2. The existing international institutions such as the World Trade Organization or the WTO and the International Monetary Fund or the IMF are struggling to adapt to the new realities of a highly interconnected world. The lack of effective global governance mechanisms has led to difficulties in addressing issues such as trade imbalances, currency manipulation, and tax evasion by multinational corporations. Ang mga organisasyong tulad ng WTO at IMF ay nahihirapan na umangkop sa isang mundo kung saan magkakaugnay ang mga ekonomiya. Halimbawa, ang pagmamanipula ng pera ng ilang bansa para mapababa ang halaga ng kanilang produkto ay nakakaapekto sa ibang bansa, sa ibang mga bansa at nagdulot ng kawalan ng timbang sa kalakalan. Number 2. The economic conflict between China and the United States has been ongoing since January 2018, when U.S. President Donald Trump began setting tariffs and other trade barriers on China with the goal of forcing it to make changes to what the U.S. says are long-standing unfair trade practices and intellectual property theft. Ito ay nagpapakita ng isang halimbawa ng alita ng ekonomikong globalisasyon. Nagkaroon ng hindi pagkakaunawaan sa pagitan ng China at Estados Unidos dahil sa mga parusa at hadlang sa kalakalan. Halimbawa, ang pagpataw ng mga taripa sa mga produkto mula sa China ay nagdudulot ng pagtaas ng presyo ng mga kalakal sa Estados Unidos. Ang ekonomikong globalisasyon ay nagdudulot ng parehong mga benepisyo at hamon sa mga bansa. Ang mga benepisyo ay kinabibilangan ng mas malaking pagpipilian ng mga produkto at serbisyo, mas mababang presyo, at mga bagong pagkakataon sa trabaho. Ang mga hamon ay kinabibilangan ng pagkawala ng mga trabaho sa mga lokal na kumpanya, pagtaas ng kompetisyon, at ang pababa ng kita ng mga manggagawa. And that is for all about the economic globalization. Thank you for listening.